Hello, everyone, and welcome to Yin Yoga with Matt. Today, I'm going to be your Yin Yoga teacher, and today's class is all about celebrating who you are just as you are. So, we live in a society where people are constantly either judging you, giving you advice on who you should be, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and at the end of the day, the true power that comes from accepting who you are as you are is tremendous. And that's one of the biggest success of my life. Have you ever heard somebody says, I really love you just as you are. I wouldn't change anything about you. You are amazing the way you are. I love that you are yourself around me. All of those things we don't hear quite often or not at all because this is not how society has been programmed. So today we're just going to be embracing who we are and celebrating just being ourselves. And this is what I wish for all of you in this world, to just accept who you are. And from that will come tremendous freedom and peace of mind. So for today's class, all you're going to be needing is a bolster, if you have one, and 2 blocks. We're going to be doing a Yin Yoga class focusing on the lower body today. So we're going to be working on the hips, we're going to be working on loosening up the hamstrings, and all of that lower body area. So let's start by just diving into it very slowly. We're going to come into butterfly position. So bring the sole of your feet together in front of you, keeping about a 1 foot distance between your heels and your groin. We're going to sit up straight, taking one big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to walk our fingertips forward. And as soon as you find your point of resistance, hold there into stillness, reconnect with your breath, and allow your body to open up. So big inhales through the nose, exhale through the nose. Accepting who you are exactly as you are is one of the biggest lessons I learned in my life, and I'm so glad I did at such an early age. The sooner you can realize that you'll never be anybody else than who you are, the faster you will be on the road to tremendous happiness, freedom, and success. So staying grounded onto your glutes, we're just going to walk our fingertips towards the right side a bit and then leaning forward, just exploring how that feels for us with a slight variation. You might find that this sends a deeper stretch into the left part of your groin. And we can slowly walk our fingertips back to the center, and then moving on to the left side, walking them in about a 45-degree angle, and then walking them forward, staying grounded onto your glutes, and then sending that stretch down the right side of your groin. And we can slowly walk our fingertips back to center, and then walk them back slowly as we raise our upper torso. And then we can just hug our knees, taking a moment here to notice how that feels. Taking a few breaths. And enjoying the fact that we're doing this for ourselves today, taking the time to enhance our physical well-being, our mental well-being. So from here, I'm going to invite you to turn onto your knees. We're going to be going into dragon pose. So let's go into all fours, bringing the blocks beside the top of our mat, or the front of our mat per se. And from here, we're just going to bring the left foot inside the left wrist, extending the right leg behind, and then keeping our left leg at a 90-degree angle. This is where you can use the blocks for support on both sides, helping you settle into dragon pose, which is tremendously good for opening up the hip area and loosening up those tight hip flexors from being seated all day if you work at a desk. I haven't done dragon pose in the past few classes, so I felt it was much needed today to get back into this asana. And from here, we can slowly start to move our hips back, extending the left leg, and just going into a gentle hamstring stretch here. You can still use the blocks for support, dropping your hips back and down. And as soon as you feel a big stretch on your left hamstring, just hold stillness here. Just using this as a counter pose to dragon, to bring back our bodies into balance. And we can slowly release, bringing back our left leg. Then we can put the blocks back to the front of the mat, coming down onto all fours. We're just gonna drive the right foot inside the right wrist, extending the left leg back and behind. And then we can grab our blocks, support ourselves, drop our hips low and forward, keeping the right leg at 90-degree angle. And then you can close your eyes, settle into stillness. Remembering that today we're celebrating who we are, embracing fully our strength and weaknesses, and accepting our limitations. And that's something you can see through doing various asanas. If you have a lot of lower back chronic pain, loosening up the front of your hip flexors with this position will do a tremendous release in your low back, and it should help you to alleviate pain in that area. And from here we can slowly move our hips back, extending the right leg into a hamstring stretch, walking our hands back with the blocks for support, and then settling into stillness here, enjoying how that feels. And we can slowly release, bringing that right leg back. So now we're going to be placing the blocks aside. If you want, you can grab the bolster and place it in front of you. And we're just going to spread our knees as wide as the yoga mat on both sides, touching our big toes together and sitting down onto our heels. We're going to go into wide knee child pose. So with the bolster in front of you, if you wish to, I'm going to invite you to just take one big inhale. And on the exhale, you can walk your hands forward, lowering your upper torso, hugging the bolster if you want, and coming all the way down to rest on it into stillness. Your head can be turned to the left side or the right side, whichever you prefer. And if you don't have a bolster, you can be bringing your forehead all the way down to the floor, going into just a regular wide knee child's pose. But the bolster is nice to relax and provides good support. And from here we can slowly press on our hands, raising our upper torso and walking our hands back. And then from here, moving the bolster just out of the way, we can bring our knees back in. And then with the top of our feet connected with the floor, the back like this, we're just gonna sit in between our legs, placing the bolster at the back of our spine. And maybe I'm just gonna place myself in the middle so you can see better what I'm doing. So we're gonna go into a full saddle pose to just release the front of our thighs. So from here, with the bolster at your back, we're just gonna start lowering ourselves down onto the bolster. If this is enough of a sensation with your with you being supported with your hands, you can just stay here, and that can be enough for you. Again, accepting your own limitations and what works for you today. But if you want to go deeper into this, you can lower yourself down progressively onto the bolster, and that might be enough of a sensation. Some people can go all the way down, but I can't, as this is very intense right now. reconnecting with your breath, and then sending every exhale to loosen up those areas of tightness. And from here, we can brace our abdominals, placing our hands on the floor and pushing ourselves up very slowly, coming forward and just releasing the knees here. And then I'm gonna invite you to just turn onto the seated position. So we're just going to be going into half butterfly, so extending the left leg out to the side, bringing the right leg in. We're going to turn our hips facing that left leg, taking a moment here to settle ourselves into this. One big inhale, and on the exhale, walking our fingertips forward until we find a point of resistance, and then settling into stillness. If you want, you can use the blocks on top of the left thigh for support. Bringing your forehead to the block might be comfortable. You can either turn it to lower setting, or you can do just without it. So those are options for you to explore. And we can slowly walk our fingertips back, raising our upper torso Taking a little moment here, we're going to be extending the right leg out and then bringing the bolster in front of us. Might feel good to just close your eyes here and relax for a moment. So when you're ready, just take one big inhale with me. And on the exhale, lower your upper torso forward. You can place your forearms on the bolster for support. Some of you might be able to go all the way down onto the bolster, depending on your flexibility level. Just find your edge. Don't judge yourself. And then hold stillness wherever that edge is. It's all different for every single one of us. And when you're ready, you can walk your hands slowly back, raising your upper torso. And just getting out of this position very slowly. So we can transition now to working on the half butterfly on the right side. So bringing your left leg in, left foot along the edges of your inner right thigh, exactly like I'm doing. And then we're gonna turn our hips towards the right leg. Big inhale. Exhale, walking the fingertips forward, lowering down our upper torso, finding our edge, and then again holding stillness, reconnecting with our breath. And focusing on celebrating who we are, just as we are. And we can slowly walk our fingertips back, raising our upper torso and bringing that right leg in. So you should start to feel really good so far. And we're just going to be transitioning down onto our backs. So from here, we're just going to go into happy baby. So bringing your knees in towards your chest, extending your legs up in the air, and then holding on to the exterior edges of both feet. We're going to just be pulling down our shoulder blades and elbows, and then allowing our groin area and hips to open up as we're using gravity. You might play around by extending the left leg, bringing the right leg in, and then bringing the left leg in, extending the right leg. So just playing a little bit with this to see how that feels for you. And then going back onto a regular happy baby. can slowly release. Bring our knees back in together. We're just going to be going into a recline twist. So with our knees at 90-degree angle, just like I have them right now, you can bring that right hand to the exterior edge of the left knee. And then we're going to turn our hips and allow them to drop down to the right side of the mat. Trying to keep both shoulder blades in contact with the floor. We're going to be extending the left hand out to the left side and then looking left. So this feels really good for the spine, the low back. It's a nice way to finish today's class together. I really enjoy recline twist. I think it quickly became one of my favorite asana in Yin Yoga. And we can slowly bring our knees back to center. Taking a little moment here to relax. We can shift our hips left or right, loosening up the low back and the external edges of our hips. And from here, we're going to bring our knees back in, 90-degree angle, left hand on the exterior edge of the right knee, and then we're going to turn everything towards the left. Extending the right hand out to the right side of the mat, looking right, and then keeping our shoulder blades in contact with the floor. So we can slowly bring our knees back to center. And then extending our legs in front of us, very slowly, taking some space on your yoga mat. Palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to settle into Savasana, bringing our bodies back to neutral. Really enjoying how today's class has loosened up a lot of tightness in various areas of our bodies. How we've released stress and feel much better. Let's just reconnect with our breath here and relax. So from here, you can stay in Savasana for longer if you wish to, or come all the way up to the seated position with me. So I hope you feel fantastic after today's class, and thanks for joining me on the yoga mat today. So celebrating who you are exactly as you are is a big accomplishment in your life, especially more so when society is trying to tell you who to be and people are always placing judgment on others and trying to get them to change who they are for no particular reason other than just trying to exercise some power over your life. And I find that quite odd, but it is the current reality we live in. So I'm gonna wish you to surround yourself with great people and understanding that the world wouldn't be the world that we have, and it wouldn't be as beautiful as it is if we were all the same. So embrace who you are, accept your strength and limitations, and that's the biggest celebration that you will ever celebrate. So thanks for joining me on the yoga mat. Please subscribe to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, it's a great way to support me and the teaching that I do here on YouTube. You can also share the classes with friends, family members, invite them to watch my channel, or you can donate to my PayPal account, which is a great way to support me as a teacher since all my classes are free here on YouTube. So let's place our hands at our heart And I'm gonna wish you a beautiful day to all of you great and beautiful people out there. Namaste. Bye everyone.